Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight. Got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet. Cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy
Merry
Kwanzaa,
Christmas.
all those different things.
Happy
Dreidel,
Honda
dreidel,
days.
dreidel. Happy Honda Day. Happy Toyota days. All that stuff.
Toyota-thon, sir. It's
Toyota
Toyota-thon.
Thon. Yeah, the
Yes,
Toyota
please
Thon.
get it correct.
I'm
Get it
sorry.
correct.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know it's not your thing, but yeah, you got to learn. You got
It's okay. Yeah.
to.
I don't have a van. So,
So
I
when
do
this-
own two Toyotas though.
There you go. Well, they'll teach you Toyota-thon. So in like 2 days when this comes out, in 2 days, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
This is coming out on the 23rd, and it is like around, like right there, coming at us.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
excited.
I am
I'm not-
too.
I'm not ready, but I'm excited.
I already know what I'm getting for Christmas from my wife.
Good.
She already
Good.
knows what she's getting for me.
Good.
It's a cruise. We're going on a cruise in May.
Rock on. All right. Excellent.
So,
Where are you going? Is
we're doing
Caribbean
the
or-
Western Caribbean. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's to celebrate our 18th wedding anniversary. So,
Nice. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So, but that's, we were like, we're just going to do this and just enjoy watching the kids open up Christmas presents.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I've been talking with several people about how they do their gift giving, and I've said it in the past. I'm pretty good at giving gifts for Marnie because that's just something that I do well, and it's something she doesn't do well. So I give her a list, and I give her multiple things. I don't want everything on the list, but I like, here's my ongoing wish list. Anything on there will make me happy. You give me any one of those things, it'll be, and for me with ADHD and my memory, it'll be a surprise. I'm like, oh yeah, oh my God, I love this. Yeah, it was on your list. Oh yeah, I forgot to put that on my list, But I was talking to some friends, and because again, as you mature in your relationship, and again, for you, 18 years, and for me, a little bit longer than that, you kind of reach a point where, like, we don't give each other anniversary presents. We'll probably have a meal together or something like that, and we definitely, remember it, but it's not that big a deal. And Christmas giving too has reached that point for a lot of couples where, again, like you're saying, we're getting a gift later, but on
Yeah.
Christmas Day, we're not opening any presents. And I live a life that's pretty much, if I want something and it's, reasonably priced, like if it's not more than maybe like, I don't know, $75, maybe $50 or something. If it's reasonably priced, I just get it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to put it on a list. I'm going to, I want to go ahead and get, whatever it might be.
Yep.
And a lot of people live that way to the point where at Christmas and, maybe Valentine's, anniversaries, whatever it might be, they don't exchange presents. They have the moment and they let their kids enjoy it, and their kids unwrap stuff, and they let their kids give them stuff, but they don't do the gift exchange. And I think it's a sign of in my opinion, a stable, mature relationship.
Yeah.
Where you recognize the person all year round.
Yeah.
Not just on Christmas, not just on birthdays, Valentine's Day, whatever it might be, but all year round. You look at stuff, and like, I'll see something. Marnie loves owls, and just loves owls, and I will see one and I will get it and I will give it to her, and I'm not going to wait until December to do it, or until our anniversary or her birthday or whatever. Oh no, I got you this today. Here you go.
I'm the same
Enjoy
way
it.
with gnomes for Corey. She loves gnomes.
Yes, yes.
And like Aldi, I'll go through Aldi. There'll be different things I'll get her throughout the year or whatever. And I say that we're not getting anything for Christmas for each other, but I don't hold to that rule very well. And I know that she's not listening right now. So there are a few little things that I've picked up to surprise her with. So that's a whole nother
Mhm.
thing. But I think that's the part of it. I get that from my dad though, because
Yeah.
he's like that all the time. Like he'd be like, "Oh, like I'm done Christmas shopping for everybody," and then he would disappear literally on Christmas Eve and go to the mall and come back with a bag full of stuff or whatever for like stocking stuffers. You're like,
Yeah.
what the heck, dude?
Yes.
And my mom's like, "What is all that?" He's like, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah, it's Christmas. Don't let it, just let it go. Just let it go. Yeah, and we do basically try to get shopping done for everybody. You know, we get lists for the kids for Christmas, and we're able to give those to the aunts and uncles and grandparents and what have you. And I've told Marnie, I said I'm fine with us not getting anything, each other anything, just not getting presents. Letting the kids pick something out at their little school store or something, and give me a pencil with an elf, eraser on it or something. And I would love that. I mean, because it's the thought. She though, she said, "Well, I'd be okay with that, but I really want to give you stuff." And I'm like, "I appreciate that. I really do. That's very kind." She goes, "And I really like to get stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that tracks. That tracks."
Yep.
And it's not anything big. I mean, I'm
I'm
getting her
catching
like
what you're throwing.
I I got her, and again, she's not gonna listen to this, and she's not here. So I got her. We went to there's a local toy store called Geppetto's, and it's a locally owned. Yeah, it's amazing.
Love that name.
It's amazing, right? And it's got, I mean, just all of these really kitschy niche toys and environmental learning things and development toys and then dolls and just everything you can imagine, except not enough Legos. I'm gonna say they don't have enough Legos, but that's all right. But we're walking around it months ago, and this was something I never would have thought. She said, "It's a rock tumbler. I've always wanted a rock tumbler." And I'm like, okay, I love rocks. I was a little, what do they call it, a rock hound? Is that what it's called? Yeah. I
Yep.
used to collect and learn and like, this is an igneous and this is metamorphic and this is this. I had a piece of pumice that was bigger than a football when I was a kid that would float, It was, and I lost it at some point. I'm really sad that I lost it because it was amazing.
It
But
just sunk.
I love, yeah, I lost it under the water. I love it, right? And for her to say that, just it surprised me. So one of the things I did is stuck that in the back of my head, and I'm like, that would be a good Christmas present. And unsurprising, she remembered too. So it is on her wish list, with bags of rocks, And I'm like, I'm a I'm a penguin. I'm a penguin right now. I'm a penguin in love, and I'm bringing you a pebble to show you I love you. This is where we're at in our relationship. I love it because here we go. Here's a bag of rocks for you to put in your rock tumbler and enjoy.
Heck yeah.
Delightful.
There's some great like small businesses out there actually that you can buy like some really neat bags of rocks of things that you probably wouldn't be able to find anywhere locally.
Hmm.
And you can like do the whole tumbling with them and make them shine up and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's a really cool thing. I love that, man. That's awesome. That store reminds me of a toy store here in the area too called the Best Toy Store Ever. And they have like some of the most nostalgic toys in there. Honestly, it feels a little bit like Santa Claus 2, where
Ah,
like Tim
yeah.
Allen's pulling the different different older toys out, like oh Rock'em Sock'em robots, like I wanted this as a
Yes.
kid, like all that kind of stuff. Oh, a weenie whistle, like all that, and
Perfect. Perfect.
he just all those things like that, it's like those are just really cool, and I love going in there because it's fun to just walk around and see what the kids like experience in there, and it's just got that, it's just super nostalgic, man, like
Hmm.
it's a fun place to go to, so I love it. I love
Yeah.
the name of that place too, Geppetto's. That's freaking
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Right.
phenomenal.
And I mean, as soon as I said, I'm like, okay, I got to go there. Is this actually a craftsman who's in there like making marionettes by hand or something? Of course it's not, but it is a perfect, and it's right across from the Children's Museum, which again, perfect placement, location is everything. And it is just a delight. I mean, I walk in there and there's just so many, and they have everything from like adult level puzzles, like the
Yeah.
2000 piece puzzles, which I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna get two 500-piece puzzles, and I'm gonna give them to Marnie in one box, all the
Oh, you
pieces
are.
in one box, and say, "I got you a 1,000-piece puzzle, and I'm gonna
Oh,
take it and give it to her at Christmas when we are visiting her family.
yeah.
This is a homemade. It's got all the pieces, 1,000 piece. It's gonna wreck you guys. It's great, but go for it."
She likes puzzles though, right? That's the
She
idea.
loves puzzles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark Rober just recently released a video where he actually created a machine that could put together an all white puzzle. And he
No.
challenges the person who holds the record for putting puzzles together the fastest, and
Oh,
she takes him to task on it. It's actually pretty neat. So definitely check that out on YouTube because
yeah. I'm looking it
that
up
one's
right
pretty
now.
good. Um,
That's amazing.
but the thing that I like with we're coming up to Christmas and everything is Christmas movies.
Hmm.
Um, and that for me, like yes, having gifts and all that is great, but I enjoy just the time sitting together, maybe enjoying a good wine or bourbon or
A
some
nog.
a nog. Yeah, I'm not a
Gotta have
nog
a nog.
guy. Not,
Yeah.
I'm not a
Oh,
no, not a nog person. This no, but definitely like a good tawny port. Love that,
good.
something
Yeah.
along those lines. Aldi has really good tawny ports. Like that's where I get mine at. But yeah, like just sitting down, meat and cheese,
Hmm.
watching movies while, when the kids go to bed or late at night, like
Hmm.
with, just that little electric fireplace going and the
Yeah.
Christmas tree lit up kind of deal, is definitely my jam. And there are so many different Christmas movies, and then there are so many imposters that try to be Christmas movies. And yeah, it's time to sling some tinsel and talk Christmas movies because uh, some of these are great, other of these are not. And I think you had mentioned something about wanting to talk about our favorite Christmas movies and then our kids' favorite Christmas movies to
Yeah.
kind of kick this thing off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my
So
my
yeah, go
favorite
ahead.
Christmas movie is Love Actually.
It's been a
It is
long time since I've seen that movie.
it has been almost a year since I've seen that movie because I watch it every Christmas, and I will say I watch it too with Marnie's mom. Marnie's mom loves it, and I am all about it. I love love. I just truly love love, and some of the best lines that came out of it, and some of the best examples of what love means. Where like the kid is sulking and he's unhappy and he doesn't know what's going on, and his dad, the mom had passed away, and his dad's like, "Is it your mom? What's going on?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to talk about it. He said, I need to know. Is it drugs? Is it?" He's like, "No, it's not drugs. I'm in love." And Liam Neeson, the character, goes, "Oh, that's great. That's amazing. That's great." And the little boy looks at him and goes, "Is it?"
I mean,
And
there
it,
are
and
some
it,
things that come
right?
with love, yes.
And Liam Neeson goes, "Oh yeah, um, oh yeah." And he's like, "See, she doesn't even know I exist, and I don't know what to do, Dad." And that's when he tries to become a drummer because she's a singer and all that stuff. But it was so perfect
And this is like a
because
9-year-old boy, isn't it?
yeah, he was about nine or so, and it's
Okay.
just amazing that yes, being in love is so incredible, but being in love also just sucks sometimes, and just things like that. So love actually for me, and it all happens around Christmas time, and a big part of the Christmas gifts come into play for a lot of it. Some in a very good way, some in an unfortunately true but negative way. And I love actually is just Chef's Kiss, my perfect Christmas movie.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah. Christmas movie that I really enjoy is a movie from 1985 called Santa Claus the Movie. Uh,
Okay.
uh, Not a lot of people
Uh-uh.
know about it. To me, it's like a Christmas classic that just kind of gets overlooked. Dudley Moore is in it. He plays one of the elves. It's just to me like the Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus characters are like the quintessential characters for that just that role, and it's a neat movie. It always is sort of like that like Christmas magic like is in it so
Hmm.
much and um to me like I feel like it's the movie that like the people who wrote Tim Allen's Christmas or the Santa Claus
Santa Claus, yeah.
I feel like they watched that and took some of that out of there and then also made it into the comedy that it is but a lot of the same you can see a lot of the same features that come out of it and
I
especially
I love it. I'm reading the synopsis. I
Yeah,
love it because
it's great.
Santa Claus has become overwhelmed by his workload, and the disgruntled elf Patch flees the workshop to New York City.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, I get it, Santa.
And it talks
The
about, well,
burnout
and
is
too, like
real.
it also talks about like how like corporate America, tries to
Mhm.
sort of like cut into what Christmas really is. And
John
um,
Lithgow is a scheming
yes. Oh,
businessman.
John Lithgow always plays a great villain,
He
honestly.
does.
He's
Yeah.
so good. Cliffhanger, he was a great villain in that too.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, he plays an
Buckaroo
awesome villain.
Banzai.
Yes. So just a good movie. It's one of those ones too where like you can sit down and watch it with the kids. It's got great color. Like for as old as it is, the color in
Hmm.
it is amazing. Like so
Cool.
good. It has a great lore for elves in there as well. Especially like, going back to like some of like the old, like it actually has like some like really old elves, and it just talks about how like they got Santa Claus, because that's the other thing is like this is like a Santa Claus origin story.
Cool.
It starts out that way. So that's the other neat thing. It's not like I'm immediately like, oh yeah, like there's a big jolly guy in the red suit, like, and he's no, like you actually start out with him being just a regular guy who goes around and to neighboring villages and hands out wooden toys to kids because he loves kids, but his wife and him can't have kids.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and so yeah, like it's so good. Like I said, I feel like it just gets overlooked all the time. So definitely, that's by far my favorite movie. What
Nice.
about you for the
Nice.
kids? What do you got? What are your favorite? What are your kids' favorite movies?
Their favorite is the Polar Express.
Okay,
And they watch it. Usually the school will play it, so I don't have to watch it at home. I find the CGI, I guess it is, or animation, the eyes of the kids to be somewhat disconcerting. And there are points when they look at you, and I'm like, do you need my soul? Because you look like you have one, and you look like you want to steal mine. But the songs, when Tom Hanks' character comes out with the hot chocolate and that song goes on, and we have to have hot chocolate on the table at that point. The kids are waiting on it. They're like, Dad, hot chocolate song's coming. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. I got to put marshmallows in. I'll be there in a minute. And they love every part about it. The biggest parts are, of course, hot chocolate song, and then caribou when there's caribou all over the things, and they have to yank on the guy's beard to make the steam whistle go or whatever. And it was again, the first time I'm like, oh, this is cool. Oh, that's Tom Hanks. Oh, that's Tom Hanks too. Oh, that also appears to be Tom Hanks. Neat. But getting through it the first time was super easy. It was over and done, and I wanted to watch it again. I will say by now I'm done. I I need a break. I need like maybe 5 years, and then I'll want to see it again. I'll feel nostalgia and want to go back to that Christmas favorite. But I've got at least 5 years of watching it, probably until my youngest is old enough that she'll be like, "Nah, we can watch something else, Dad." Who knows
yeah,
what?
that movie is definitely not anywhere on the radar. Like the kids have seen it once, and I don't think they were like super impressed with
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, and
Um, but
good
yeah,
for you.
but my kids run the line of like the more traditional style of things. So like they like A Christmas Story. They enjoy A
Yeah,
Christmas Story and Ralphie and the whole like
yeah.
you'll shoot your eye out. So that's one that they really like, and Charlie Brown Christmas. Like that is a
Oh,
definite like if they could watch that on repeat, they would just constantly watch that. They love those two movies a ton. Um, we watch Elf as a family, typically when we're putting the Christmas tree up, and
perfect timing.
there's some just great one-liners in there, and so that's a lot of fun to do as well. But yeah, those were the two that the kids really enjoy. And then there's just like kind of a I don't know, like a mixed bag of other stuff that they watch. I will say though, I'm really glad that they're not into any of the claymation uh Christmas cartoons. Dude, I don't know, like I
Toy
have so,
Island, Island of Misfit Toys.
oh gosh, yeah. A water gun that shoots grape jelly. What? I don't get it. A polka dotted elephant. I mean, they just a little bit of everything. Trains with square wheels. Um, There's just so much going on in those, like, and to me they've got like a little bit of a creep factor or whatever. But
Yeah,
like as a kid, I always watched them, but then as I watched them as an adult, I'm like, ah, like
this is
what in the
bad.
world? It's real bad. And so, but you know what? There's some people that would throw pitchforks at me for saying that, because they just
Sure.
enjoy them so much. But
We should respect other people's beliefs that those movies are watchable. You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
but if
Well,
you want to torture me, that's the way to do it.
even if we don't agree, and just the what was the one? I don't remember which ones we were, but it was the one that had like the evil like Jack Frost character or something. He was the ice guy,
Yeah,
but he was
yeah,
really creepy. And just everything about his like pointed face, his face is almost feral and almost vampire like, and he's
yep.
got like gaunt cheeks and the points on all of his, his face and nose are all pointed. And I'm like, okay, buddy, no. And then he becomes a nice guy, and I'm like, no, 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 don't trust him. No, 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 he's going to eat your babies. There, that guy's got a bad, got a bad
It
problem.
Yeah, it's something the
And that came out.
Meister.
I was 18 when that movie came out. So there's no
It,
reason that should have scared me as a child, right? Because I was no longer technically a child. I was married when that
I
movie
tell
came
you,
out.
I tell you what though, man, there's some people that have taken that and turned it into something completely like wild. Like they've actually made it like a what do you call it? Like a live action type of thing as well. Recently,
Let's
uh,
cosplay it.
yeah, yeah, I'm not a fan of that one or the even the what is it like no no Santa for Christmas. Like they're I don't know, like a year without Santa Claus or something along those lines. There's just so many that are in that realm of like nope, I just can't do any of these. Like they do not hit on my list at all. One I think though that a lot of people don't have probably hitting on their list at all because well apparently it's the Christmas special that should not be named, is the Star Wars Christmas special. Have you ever seen that?
You know it. Of course, I've seen
Whew.
that one. I
Whew.
wasn't allowed to watch that one because it was Christmas. So that was not. But I went over to a friend's house. I'm like, oh, is that on? Hey, can we watch that? And he was like, yeah, yeah, I've seen it. It's okay. But no, it was not okay. It was awful. But
Mm-mm.
I love it for the awfulness. The awfulness. It was perfect.
But you know what though? I had a buddy in college who we were talking about that movie one day, and I was like, "Man, I was like, I heard that this is like the worst." And he's like, "No, no." He's like, "I got one way worse." He's like, "It's not as far as into the like, you know, the lore of Star Wars and geekdom and nerddom is, but he's like as far as like the epitome of worst Christmas movies ever made that should have never been made, let alone the title should have been the first thing that should have killed this movie is 1964. It's an hour and 21 minutes. Santa Claus conquers the Martians.
I've never heard of that one, but I feel like I'm not missing anything.
No, you're not missing anything. And really, all you got to do is Google that name and just look at the photos that pop up, and you'll be like, that's good enough for me. I get it. Like, that's all you need to know.
Well, I may have mentioned this, but since we're looking at bad movies, so there's a movie on Netflix right now, um, and it's called Hot Frosty.
We talked about that
Did we talk
a
about it
couple
before? Okay,
episodes back. Yeah.
because it truly affected me. It really did, and it's it's not a great movie by any stretch, but just for rom-com Christmas brain candy that you don't get anything out of, but other than like my spiked eggnog helps me appreciate this movie. It was just perfectly done. It just has that the character has that Brendan Fraser feel in like his caveman movies and all those things
Oh
that he did
Lord, Encino
in
Man.
George of the Jungle and Encino Man, where he's just kind of out of time and kind of a ding dong, and this guy that plays Frosty is that. So, and he's experiencing life for the first time and all that stuff. And I have to say that the premise of it is delightful. And I recommend everybody watch it just because you need to experience this. But it could easily be one of the best worst movies I've ever seen. Truly. Hot Frosty is bad. but it's good. It's great. It's hilariously a blend of the two.
Well, to kind of go along on that side of things, I have you heard about the Jack Black movie that
I don't know which one.
it's called I think it's called like
Minecraft.
Dear No, it's called Dear Santa, I think. Um and the kid writes a letter to Santa Claus, only he spells it Satan.
Yes, I just saw that this last week.
I
Yes,
I haven't gotten to watch it yet, but it's like everything that you would expect from Tenacious D.
right. Yes, it's called Dear Santa. That is what it's called. Yeah.
Right. And it's got a good cast of people in it. I mean, shoot, Post Malone's in it as well, and
Mhm.
just a lot of different characters and different actors. So, but yeah, like I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but I'm very intrigued by it just because it does have Jack Black in it, and I really enjoy Jack
He's great.
Black.
Yeah. And and
So,
and just imagine your IMDb, which his is already huge, I'm sure, but now it has Jack Black, Satan. Yeah, I feel like as an actor, he has reached his pinnacle, right? He's gone as far as a human being can go, and I'm proud to be alive in this time when we can see this happen, because
yeah.
the trailer is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
He's in that kid's room. He's like, "What? You called me here," and it's just so well done,
It's like a
And
combination of the song Tribute that he did all those
yeah,
years ago,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it to me in the previews it looked like it was a combination of that song and the movie Little Nicky, like just smashed
Yes,
together into a Christmas movie.
I would agree with that. I think that would work perfect. I think he'll do much better than Little Nicky than Adam Sandler did. That was
Sure. Oh
an
yeah, no.
odd movie. That was an odd movie for sure.
No. Well, I mean, like if you think about it though, in the song Tribute, where it's him and David Grohl going back and forth, and Grohl's the devil or whatever. Like still, like even the way that he like talks and all of his facial movements and things like that, it's like, all right, dude. And you were talking about him like this is his pinnacle. It really fits too, just because like he was just Bowser in this in Super Mario, and now he's
Hmm.
actually playing. Say it's like, well, he had
Yeah,
horns in that one. Now he's really he's got
you
the
actually
full.
got him. Yeah, you can see him.
Yeah, he went full mystique on that one. So,
And
um,
the non-Christmas movie Minecraft movie is coming out,
it
and
is.
that's
Yes, my
Jack
son
Black
is.
starring. And I'm just I want to see how it happens. I want to see it play out on the screen. That's what I want. I'll
Yeah,
probably do it at home. I'm not going to pay full price to go see it, but I'm looking at the previews and that creepy sheep, because everything in Minecraft is a cube, right? And so you see that, and he turns around and he looks at it, and that creepy little sheep is sitting there and eats some grass and looks up at it. And I'm like, ah, ha, ha, ha. We did not need to CGI live action that one. That is bad. That is very
yeah.
bad.
Or the pigs. Those
Yeah,
two.
pigs are not good. Yeah, the
No.
bees though, I do love the bees. Bees in Minecraft are adorable. They are exactly the big fat bumblebee types, and it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, okay,
my
you
kids
can
are
hang
looking
out.
forward to that movie, and then they're also looking forward to Sonic 3 is the other one, which I just found out recently that
Shadow.
the voice of Shadow, do you know who it is?
Mm-mm.
Keanu Reeves.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So you
Ah,
got Jim Carrey, and then you got I can never pronounce his name. Knuckles. I can't think of how to pronounce like
I don't.
that
Is it
actor's
Idris
name.
Elba?
Yes, that's who it is. Yeah, I can't ever say his name correctly.
It's a lot of vowels in there. I understand.
Yeah. And then Keanu Reeves too. So it's like this wild cast
Hmm.
in that fashion. So,
Some
but yeah,
star power just for voices. Well, no, Jim Carrey, of course, is playing live action, but
yeah. But I mean, not Christmas movies, so we'll get back on track. Some other movies that fall in line with here's the controversy. So Die Hard always gets the argument back and forth. Yes, they're at a Christmas party. That's really the only reference to that movie,
hmm
to be honest. Um,
yeah.
is it
Uh,
something to watch at Christmas time? Maybe. I watched it at Thanksgiving at my folks' place because I hadn't seen it in forever, and to me, it feels just sort of like that's the time to watch it. But it's not really a Christmas movie, so to speak.
yeah.
There's nothing else in it.
I agree. There's there's really no premise for it to be it. But the what you just described, I think, defines what a Christmas movie is. A Christmas
Nostalgic.
movie, nostalgic. Yes, exactly. That is what I think really fits for you. If this is a movie that you personally think, or a lot of people even think about for Christmas, I'm going to watch, I'm going to watch Die Hard. It's a Christmas tradition. Okay, cool. I'm good with you doing it. And I think we both agree that if that's what you want to do, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
I may not agree, and I don't really disagree though. I don't really have an opinion too deeply in that because it doesn't matter to me if you think it's a Christmas movie. Sure, enjoy it. I'm probably not going to watch it, you know,
Yep.
um,
Uh,
at least for Christmas.
some other questionable movies. Your opinion. Harry Potter movies, especially The Sorcerer's Stone.
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
it has Christmas in it, but I wouldn't say it's a Christmas movie.
Yep.
Um, but again,
All
if
right.
you watch it every year at Christmas, I could see that being, you know, in there.
It definitely gets a pretty good push around
Mhm.
Christmas time. Batman Returns 1992.
Just stop. No,
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 now listen.
no.
I thought, okay, hold on though.
Isn't that the one with nipples? That George
No,
Clooney got nipples on the
no,
suit?
I don't think so. I think that one's also Keaton. Um, but it's set at Christmas time. Like entire Gotham is covered in snow and there are Christmas lights everywhere and there like are
Yeah.
presents that are being given that have like, bombs and whatnot in them. But
Yes. And
but still
Captain
though,
Cold.
come on, man, Christmas movie. That's a Christmas movie.
Mm,
No,
mm,
not so much. Okay, how about this?
no, no,
Gremlins, 1984.
no,
No? Okay, I'm
no,
gonna fight you on this one.
no.
I'm putting my flag in the ground on this one. Think about this. Dad brings home a Mogwai as a Christmas gift
Hmm.
for his kid.
Sure.
There is all kinds of scenes in it with Christmas stuff in it, including the decapitated snowman. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but I mean, like the whole thing is set in Christmas time, and it's all about a Christmas gift. So yes,
No.
yes, it's a scary movie in a way, but at the same time too, like I feel like that checks a lot of boxes for a holiday movie, especially from a
Uh,
nostalgic standpoint. Like nostalgia,
well,
like
again, we can't argue nostalgia.
yeah.
So if you say it's, if that's what you think is, but I absolutely do not. Granted, it was a
Okay.
Christmas gift that happened at Christmas time, but nothing about the movie other than the fact that it's very stereotypical. And I feel like our listeners do not do this. Maybe some do, but that the dad comes in at the last minute to buy a Christmas present for his kid. You're
Oh,
like, oh,
total
I gotta
80s
get a
dad.
right
Yeah.
80s dad. I gotta get a present for my kid. What do you got? Well, I got this little box of monsters. Would you like one of those? Yeah, yeah. Give me one of those. Put it in a bag. I gotta go. I don't have time to listen to your
I have a
warnings or
Mogwai. This is the
yeah,
very first Pokemon. Here, take that
yeah,
to
right.
America.
Yep, absolutely a pocket money. Right, and take it to America. And I'm like, this would not happen. There's no way you get that thing into the country. No.
And is that Inspector Gadget? I mean, is that who he is? Like, like he's like, hey, I got this engagement and this. It's like
Hmm.
all these different little gadgets that he's making, trying to like hawk off on people.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And of course, like the people over in Asia are just like, we make that better. Like no,
Right. We don't need your broken thing. That's okay,
no, yeah,
American
we don't do
person.
that.
But no, I would disagree with Gremlins for me. It's absolutely I don't want to say horror movie because it wasn't like horror. It's more of a I don't know a wannabe scary movie. It's not. I don't know
Yeah,
anybody that's ever gotten scared by gremlins. Maybe there are people that have. I'm sure there are people that have like a gremlin freaks them out like snakes freak me out. I'm sure there are people that exist, but
sure, sure.
and I respect you, whoever you are. I might laugh a little. I'm sorry, but it's a freaking gremlin. Come on,
Yeah,
and I will say though Spike Spike had a mohawk, and
yeah.
that's pretty bad. I like that. That was a good one for me.
Don't get them wet.
But
don't feed them
yeah,
after
don't
midnight.
feed them after midnight, and evidently don't put them in the microwave and set them up for 2 minutes because they explode.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's, sounds like the
That
optimal way of killing
was
them.
disturbing when
Yeah.
that because I don't know who put him in there, who
Wait, is
turned it
that
on,
more
but
disturbing than the ones where you like throw them in the big water fountain and they all just like melt away? Like they're
and then
popping and gurgling and whatnot.
exactly like little pus bubbles popping, and it's like oh wow, no, we're creating more. Blah, blah. No, gross, gross. Yeah, but I don't see it as a Christmas movie because
Okay, okay.
if his dad had bought him and it was a birthday present, would it be a birthday movie?
Sure.
No, 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 mm, no.
Does that make
It
Toy
is a,
Story a birthday movie? I don't
is
know.
it is it is it it's a supernatural semi horror movie, in my opinion.
Mm,
And I don't find that for me horror and Christmas go together.
okay.
They're just too disparate.
How about this? Now, this one might be a little bit difficult, possibly, just because, like we were talking previously, like just experience with Christmas in the past. But do you have any of those like tearjerker Christmas movies that, like, I know you said Love Actually is
Hmm.
definitely a positive one, but like,
It makes me cry.
are there any others that you have that are like maybe you don't watch them all the time, but like even just like a specific scene? Because to me, things like Miracle on 34th Street, the original or even like the remake that they did, which was really good too. Where I don't know if you've like, so there's a scene where, and I actually just found this out, backstory kind of thing on this, but basically, mom brings this little girl in to see Santa Claus, and she's
Hmm.
deaf, and the little girl walks up to Santa and. The mom was like, "You don't have to like say anything. She just wanted to meet you, and like, she's deaf." And he like signs to her, and it's just this really sweet moment. Now the Santa Claus, by the way, is the same guy who played the older guy in Jurassic Park, that
Hmm.
like that guy. So um what I found out is that this little girl was very excited to meet Santa Claus. They gave her no lines at all. The guy who was playing Santa said, "I don't want her to have any lines. I want this to be all natural reaction." So she walks up, and they didn't tell her anything about him being able to sign. And so like her facial expression and just like the sheer shock that he's even able to like talk to her.
Yeah.
It's such a movie magic, like real situation. That's always like I always thought it was really neat that one that character actually had known sign language. It fits so well into like the fact that like when you think of Santa Claus, like you think the fact that he's got to be multicultural and his like or bilingual basically and like
Hmm.
understand cultures and stuff because he's going all over the world, but
Oh
also
yeah.
too to be able to even speak languages, especially even ASL. And so that one was just a really neat situation. And actually, too, if you watch the Macy's Day Parade this year, most people probably didn't catch this, but Santa Claus, as he was coming up, was signing "Merry Christmas" to everyone along
Nice.
the way. Like you'd see him wave, but then you'd also see him sign "Merry Christmas." And I was like watching it with my family. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, and I'm getting like goosebumps talking about it because it was just so neat. But like I was just like, oh my gosh, like Santa Claus is actually signing "Merry Christmas" to like the crowd. And I was like, I hope people see this because it was so neat.
Yeah. That is cool. That is
Yeah.
cool. And yeah, you're getting choked up, man. Calm
A little
down.
bit.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, I got a special place in my heart for sign language, like people who have disabilities, that kind of thing. And
Hmm.
so, yeah.
I love it.
Um, but yeah,
I
Miracle on 34th Street's an awesome movie.
okay. All right. I do not have a tearjerker type Christmas movie because I didn't grow up with them, so there's no like real true nostalgia for me. Um, and why watch whatever the kids want to watch?
Yeah.
So most of my experience, and I will say I didn't think Love Actually was a Christmas movie when I first saw it. So I'm like, oh, this looks good, and yeah, and I don't think I cried during that one.
Yeah.
It's a lot of touching moments, and there is a moment. I will say there's one part where the one of the characters they're an older couple and he is working at an office, and he's got a secretary or an assistant, I don't remember what her position is, who is much younger, like 20, 25 years younger or more, and is really attracted to him. And she's making no bones about it. She's being very obvious, and he doesn't know how to handle it. But he, of course, is kind of flattered by it, and his wife sees him buy this piece of jewelry, and it comes in a little square, box about the size of a CD case. And she's excited and trying to fake that she doesn't know what it is. And then she opens it up, and it is a CD of one of her favorite, musicians. And he's like, "Yeah, I know you like that." And so I got that for her. And she realizes what happens is he bought that for someone else, and that he's probably cheating on her. So she leaves, and she says, "Okay, I'll be right back." And she goes in her room and breaks down. She just breaks and takes a moment and then stops, wipes her eyes, takes a deep breath, puts on a smile, and goes back in and goes, "Are we ready to go?" And is just that effervescent parent that you want for your kids at Christmas. And that to me was a very, very poignant moment because of our need to put ourselves aside for
Yeah.
our kids, to have a situation that we're into and realize that we need to be someone, we need to feel something else right now or think something else right now because our kids need us. And for her to do that to me was just, I mean, it just touched my heart, really. Because I
Yeah.
feel like, especially as an at-home parent, you're giving up so much of your own, or just of yourself, whether it's emotionally, physically, whatever it is. And that moment to me, that almost made me cry. And when I think of it, it really, really touches me. It's not necessarily Christmas related, and it is very sad, but it really it sinks home for me,
Yeah, I was gonna say
you
it's
know.
very true to the point on, some
Yeah.
people that's exactly what's going on,
Right.
and how do they move through that. So
Hmm.
I was gonna say for me, kind of in that same line of things, It's a Wonderful Life
Hmm.
falls right in that line. I think a lot of times, especially this time of year, not to go, too deep, but at the same time too, I think it'd be remiss not to mention it, the fact that there are a lot of people who struggle to enjoy this time of year because they're
Hmm.
so bogged down with life. And George's character is a perfect example of someone who just has basically been grinded down, like can't even enjoy anything, even with his kids who he loves very much, and feels that the world would be better off without him. And I think that that is definitely a mindset that so many people have, is this, everybody be so better off without me. And that that's so not the case. And the movie does a
Hmm.
great job of showing that, you know, this is all the different, like, these are all the things that would have changed, or this is, how
Yeah.
life would have been if you had never been born before, kind of situation.
Hmm.
And so, um, I don't know. It's such an iconic movie. It has so
Hmm.
many good messages in it. And, I I really enjoy it. I'm glad too that no one has tried to remake that movie,
Oh yeah,
um,
that's
because there are so many movies that have been remade over the years.
yes,
And it's like that one got it right. There is
terribly.
absolutely nothing in there that like needs to change at all in it. And so that's it's just pretty impactful.
Now, the one that I really like, and this is out of the blue, but the Muppet Christmas.
Oh, yeah, Christmas Carol.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it really, I don't know, because one, I love Muppets. Muppets are cool, and it just and I do get nostalgia from, especially from Kermit the Frog, and the fact that they are, in certain ways, they're each an expression of a personality or an emotion even, and what they bring to the entire team. But the best part of it for me was that Michael Caine as
Mm,
Scrooge
yes.
played his part 100% professionally. because I am and I this is I am Scrooge. Okay, I've got this. This is how I act. This is how I talk. This is how I'll be, and I'm surrounded by. It doesn't matter whether
Yeah.
they were people or where they were Muppets or puppets. It didn't matter. He's still just 100% committed to it and was serious about it. And to see him, and he's such an amazing actor. You know, he
Yeah.
has such, what is it, gravitas, I guess. Has
Hmm.
such for the kids. He's got such riz um, that he just brings that to every performance, and it's hilarious to think of them casting him and saying, "Okay, so we want you to be Scrooge, but it's going to be with Muppets," and him probably not even blinking an eye and going, "That's fine." Because he's a professional. He's a consummate professional actor, and he just goes in and does it even with
Yeah.
Muppets. I love it.
Well, two movies that I like that are Scrooged related are Scrooged.
Hmm.
Mike, that
Yeah.
with Bill Murray,
Bill Murray. Yeah.
fantastic movie, great, just a great movie all around. And then recently, and this is the other one that my kids really enjoy actually too, Spirited. Have you ever heard of it?
I think so, but I don't know what it is.
Just imagine Deadpool as
Sure.
just just Ryan Reynolds. So it's it's
Okay.
it's Ryan Reynolds as a Scrooge type character and Will
Are they
Ferrell as the
skaters or
original.
something? No, that's
No,
different.
no, no, no.
That's another
That's
movie. Sorry.
that's a different movie. So basically, it's a new take on the Charles Dickens A Christmas Carol, where Will Ferrell's character is the original Scrooge, and he basically was sort of deemed as this sort of like person who could not be changed, and then like through the three different spirits throughout the night like changed his whole viewpoint on things. And so now he works in this like organization in the afterlife where like they pick somebody every year and they try to like basically recreate that moment.
Hmm.
And uh and so Ryan Reynolds is that character, and it's a musical too
Oh,
on top of it. So you have Ryan Reynolds and you have Will Ferrell like singing these songs. It's amazing. It's so good. It
okay.
really is good.
I'm
Uh,
putting that on my list. Yeah.
yeah, it's so good. And honestly, I know you like Deadpool and things like that, but
Hmm.
and it's definitely all that. Like he's got all the same angst. And Will Ferrell, I mean, it's as if you took Deadpool and Elf and like smashed them together with like the classic Charles Dickens. Like it's this weird mixture that works so well
I'm gonna guess
with
Elf's
like
to say, yeah.
with a musical version of not having Hugh Jackman in it, but like it feels like he's present in a spiritual way in the movie. Um, so yeah, it's definitely one to check out. And oh, it's also got Octavia Spencer in it, who's like an older British actor as well.
Hmm.
I think he plays Jacob. So, but highly recommend it. It's on Apple TV, by the way. So that's the only place I think you can watch it. So
I don't think Octavia Spencer is who you think Octavia Spencer is.
I thought it was the guy. Really? Oh, never
It's
mind.
it's
Yeah, I'm totally wrong. I apologize. That is not who that was.
apologize to
Oc-
Miss
yeah, Miss
Octavia
Octavia Spencer. My
Spencer. We
bad.
obviously had our names wrong, and we do
Very
that,
much.
and that's what we do.
Yeah,
We're
we got it. We caught it.
not
Uh,
intentional. You
she's an
said it, and I'm
amazing
like,
actress. Yeah,
yeah, she's great. She's great.
yeah.
But you
She's
said it,
an.
and I'm like, wait a minute.
Sorry, you are not an old
I don't
white British
I don't
man
know
at
this,
all.
right?
I apologize. My God. Woo. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
No, I
No,
don't think
Octavia
anybody would fault
Octavia
you for it.
Spencer though, she's the main female actor in it, and she's really good in it as well. But man, that yeah, she's put out some really good movies. Um,
True.
but anyway, yeah. So the movie itself, though, I highly recommend it. The kids like they begged for it. Like as soon as we got back home from celebrating Thanksgiving, they're like, "Can we watch Spirited?" And I was like, "What?" And then like I watched it with them. I'm like, "Oh, I can understand why you like this movie so much. This is hilarious."
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna have to watch it. I really it didn't. Well, I will say Marnie hates Will Ferrell
I think she might
because
like him in this one though.
yeah, possibly, but when she puts that kind of a hard line on things, it's easier for me to just be like, well, I'm not going to miss much on this movie, so I'll move on. And watch. There's plenty of other things to keep me entertained, and I will say now, yeah, I'll definitely be watching this, and I'm going to do my very, very, very best to watch Elf this year. Gonna try. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down. watch Elf.
Well, we come back to, talk about the new year and stuff. Like, hopefully you've marked it off your bucket list, or that's
But
gonna have to be like one of
actually,
your one of your things for the new year. But
I'm gonna
anyway,
try. I'm gonna make it a
yeah.
what a resolution. No, I'm
Oh
making
my
a
gosh. No,
goal. Make it a
yeah,
goal.
goal. There you go. That's a
We don't do
goal.
resolutions.
Well, speaking of goals, we've hit the goal mark for this episode. So uh, we will be back next week to talk about the new year and all the
Hmm.
different things that come with that. And hope you all had a great just time celebrating with family. And until
Yep.
next week,
Happy
talk to you later.
holidays. Merry
Happy
Christmas,
holidays.
y'all. And good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.